Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez Khan, and I am a filmmaker and a film critic. And what brought me out of my hiatus of making reviews? Well, it was Narcos Season 3.
To take down the gentleman of Cali, you'd have to be crazy, stupid, brave, and lucky. All at the same time.
I've said it before in my previous reviews, and I'll say it again. Xavier Payne's character is far more interesting than that of Steve Murphy's. But the show, anyway, starts off on the right foot by building off Pena's past. His past disgraces, his history with his father are lightly chronicled over. The quick backstory gives more than enough reason as to why Xavier Payne wants to return to that war zone named Colombia. One thing that you can blatantly notice off the bat is the improved visual quality of this show. It looks much more cinematic, much more film-like. The establishing shots are much more than just static. We have these elegant, long, sweeping shots to establish locations, which is something we didn't see in seasons 1 and 2. And also the color grade and the lighting of this show is far improved than seasons 1 and 2. There are a lot more shadows and blacks. A lot of times you'll see characters, especially villains, be half covered. Half their face will be covered in the darkness, something we didn't see with Pablo Escobar in the previous seasons. The lighting was pretty flat. The sound design is improved as well. The environments, all of them sound so full, active, and rich. These improvements clearly came off of a higher budget, and thanks to the success of seasons 1 and 2, they even got a great TV actor, a great actor period, in Shea Wiggum to appear for 2 episodes in episodes 1 and 2. As I said in my previous reviews, Narcos was never about a person, it was about cocaine. It's in the name of the show, Narcos. But now with Escobar dead, the focus turns on the Cali cartel. The DEA and the CIA have to work together to bring them down. It very subtly hints on the bureaucracy of the war on drugs. They do somewhat more from a subplot to a main plot, but they never become hard-hitting enough to leave an impact. Drugs are illegal because there's money to be made by the CIA and the DEA. For the first 3 episodes, we see the inner workings of both the cartel and the law enforcement. Episode 4 is where things start to pick up. The big action sequences start happening. Episode 6 is another one of those great episodes, and episodes 8 and 9 are off the chain intense. There's a fantastic dual raid sequence which sort of mirrors the editing, at least, of The Silence of the Lambs. The idea of confusing the audience by not showing certain areas of the house, it works really well. Again, thanks to the bigger budget, we are treated to some very long and extensive action sequences this time around. The commentary all the characters of Narcos have been trying to sell since episode 1 till episode 30 has been the moral ambiguity and the objectiveness of good and bad. Let's be fair here, not a single main character in Narcos is a good guy, objectively speaking. Cops do illegal stuff to get their man, the politicians do more illegal stuff to stay in power. There are several sequences of Pedro Pascal just sitting on his desk or staring at a dartboard, just brooding. Very reminiscent of Matthew McConaughey in True Detective Season 1. He's basically questioning his role in this war on drugs. Speaking of roles, let's talk about the acting. Season 3 hosts a new cast of characters when it comes to villain. You thought Pablo Escobar was bad, well how about 4 times Pablo Escobar? Yes, there are 4 bad guys this time around, and they're called the Cali Cartel. The Cali Cartel consists of Gilberto Rodriguez, Miguel Rodriguez, Chepe, Santa Cruz, and Pacho Herrera. Hey, I got those names right. But the best addition when it comes to the new cast has to be the character of Jorge Salcedo. He plays an IT guy of sorts, and the less I talk about him, the better. But let me just say this, the addition of his character is like a great tribute to the fantastic movie, one of my favorite films of all time, The Departed. There are some nice young cops, there are some additions on the good side of the law as well. There are some nice young cops who do the dirty work for Pena, which really sells the character of Pena and his promotion. And both those characters combined kinda act and have the personality of Steve Murphy, so you don't necessarily miss Steve Murphy that much either. Everyone delivers, and it's not that the show is necessarily lacking anything. I didn't really miss Pablo Escobar like at all in this show. The Cali Cartel are worse people, and they do worse things, and all of them are great actors, especially the guys who play Pacho Herrera and Chepe Santa Cruz. Chepe, that dude is magnetic, man. He has one of the best on-screen presences like I've ever seen. He just oozes cool. He should be a role model for people who want to be cool. You know, just minus all the drug stuff. But none of them, aside from Chepe, have that magnetizing pull that Pablo Escobar had. And part of it has to do with the actions of Pablo Escobar. I mean, he was one guy and he equaled the damage to the Colombian government that these four people did. It's not an acting issue, it's not a character issue. Maybe if I had to nitpick, it would be a balancing issue. The clear alpha in the Cali cartel is Chepe, and he's shown least in the season. But that's not taking away anything from their performances. Their performances are great. There are some aspects of the show I had issue with, one of them being the female cast. They're all second grade, not their acting, but their characters are written so poorly. They literally have nothing to do. Even the reporters, who are usually written very strong in movies, they do nothing either. And it's most likely because it's a male-dominated show and very male-centric as well. But all the women in this show are so one-dimensional, man. I mean, really, you couldn't give one of the focal characters. The only female of the entire season was a supposed whore named Miss Salazar, I believe. And she gets little to no closure. You could have given her more closure than just an abrupt cut to the next scene. And one particular sequence I had a problem with, I believe came in the very first or second episode. It involves Pacho Herrera dancing under the moonlight to a slow Spanish song. It's a really long dance number, and all it does is it establishes Pacho as a superior, and it reminds us that Pacho Herrera is gay. Yeah, this guy, people. Gay? Oh my god, I wouldn't have known if you didn't show me that long dance number. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and for no reason. Just to establish something we could see with our eyes. There's not really that much to complain about, man. All my complaints you heard for a few seconds ago were mainly nitpicks. This is another spectacular season of a spectacular show. The action is bigger and far more explosive. The scenes which involve two locations and an action sequence will make you sweat thanks to Spielbergian time-expanding editing. These action scenes are really long, which build up the intensity. The acting is fantastic, and like Narcos Season 2's ending, it leaves you wanting more. You mean to tell me I gotta wait a whole year to see 10 more episodes? Narcos Season 3 is a perfect blend of a cop procedural, film noir, and 80s action, all rolled into one. This show should appeal to baby boomers and millennials and people of all ages above 18 in my eyes. If you have a complaint of this show being subtitled, well, if you learn to read, the subtitles won't be that much of a problem, people. 5 out of 5 for Narcos Season 3. Thank you so much for watching, people. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button. Let's try to get to 70 likes. 7-0. If you really enjoyed this video and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. It's free and you can see all my backlogged stuff. It's very good as well. If you want to connect with me, if you want to chat with me, have a chat with me on Twitter at Rameez Film Geek. If you want to see my photography work, Instagram Rameez Camera Raw. And if you ladies want to send me some spicy nudes, look to my Snapchat, Rameez Film Geek as well. But until next time, remember to love yourselves.
Espada que